Hey everybody, it's ZDS here, bringing you guys another video for your eyes and ears to enjoy. So guys, I have been trying to wrap my head around this concept for quite a while. That's the reason that this video has been so long in the making. I've tried recording it 4 separate times. I've tried making a script for it 3 separate times and ended up scrapping all the scripts and stuff. And basically, I'm just going to go ahead and throw my thoughts out there unscripted and just tell you guys what I think about a particular topic I've been interested in, which is Metroid Prime freaking 4 and Metroid Prime 4 potentially having a multiplayer experience. So multiplayer, honestly, is nothing new to the Metroid series. There have been 2 games so far that have multiplayer experiences of some type, which was Metroid Prime 2, which only had local multiplayer, and Metroid Prime Hunters, which had a version of online multiplayer using all the different hunters in the game. Now, since we don't exactly know what Metroid Prime 4 is going to be about just yet, I mean, it's pretty much confirmed, in my opinion, that we're going to have something to do with Silex, something to do with the other hunters possibly, or basically just another experience with Silex in general. What I wanted to know would be like, what exactly, if multiplayer was done in Metroid Prime 4, what would it be like? You know, because I've been trying to wrap my head around this because, see, I never played Hunters multiplayer because by the time that I got Hunters, I didn't know anybody who had a DS at the time. See, I grew up with Metroid pretty much by myself. I only had one friend who played it, and he was the one who introduced it to me in the first place. And by the time that I got Hunters, me and him weren't friends anymore, so I couldn't exactly play it with anybody since I had nobody who liked Metroid and nobody I knew had a DS system at the time. And my only experience with Metroid Prime Hunters because of that has been the single player, which I absolutely despise because the controls make my hands cramp up more worse than a 90-year-old woman with arthritis. But regardless, I've seen a lot of gameplay of the multiplayer for Metroid Prime Hunters, and it looks pretty cool. I heard a lot of people say that that the best part of the game was the multiplayer, and while nobody said that about Prime 2, I do really enjoy Prime 2's multiplayer. It sounds kind of dumb, but like I liked the deathmatch aspect of Prime 2 multiplayer, and it was just something fun for me and my friends to goof around with when I was younger. Now for Prime 4, for the multiplayer for Prime 4, I would like them to introduce more characters, perhaps maybe even like have like Anthony and Adam from Other M in the game as like, you know, generic GF soldiers. Maybe have the PED suit soldiers from Prime 3. Maybe have the bomb squad soldiers, as I call them, the demolition specialists, whatever the hell they are, from Prime 3 as well. Also bring the hunters back, absolutely, because if Silex is going to be in the game, you got to have the other, what is it, 7 hunters? 7, 6 or 7? I don't remember exactly how many there are, but you got to have the other hunters if you're going to have Silex in the game. And, you know, maybe even put in some, like the Space Pirates. Like, put in different versions of the Space Pirates. Like, put in the Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 versions of the Space Pirates, and then have, like, each of them have their different weapons and different abilities and stuff. I think it would be really, really cool, honestly. And with the introduction of the paid online service that Nintendo is introducing in this September, I think it would be a prime candidate for Metroid Prime 4 multiplayer for having the first-party online multiplayer shooter for Nintendo. I think that would be an amazing thing to do. I mean, I'm personally not a fan of first-person shooters, but I am a big fan of Metroid. And for me, if you take a genre of game and slap a skin on it of a genre of a video game that I like, for example, in Legend of Zelda's case, I've never played it, but I'm interested in playing Hyrule Warriors. I like Legend of Zelda. I've never played a Dynasty Warriors game before, but Hyrule Warriors and even the Fire Emblem Warriors game that's coming out, if not hasn't already, I'm probably wrong on that. I don't know. Haven't been keeping up with that, but anyway, even that's interesting to me, and I've never played a Fire Emblem game before either. But, you know, slap a skin of a game series I like onto something else, onto a different game series, and I typically would give it a shot. And Metroid's never done that. But I think that if Metroid Prime 4 had multiplayer aspects, I would definitely give that a shot. Obviously, it can't interfere with the first player adventure, whatever the heck you want to call it. The main campaign is what I mean. It can't interfere with that, but I think what would be kind of cool is that if we had like a credit system in the game, like we had similarly in Metroid Prime 3, in Metroid Prime 3 it was like unlock art galleries and stuff like that, but a credit system for perhaps in Metroid Prime 4, where after you defeat certain bosses, you earn a credit that allows you to use a particular character in the game, in the multiplayer game. I think that would be really freaking cool. Like, for example, say there's 13 bosses in Metroid Prime 4, just a ballpark because that's approximately the amount of bosses as an average in the Prime trilogy in general is about 12, 13 bosses in the games into each individual game. because there's technically 39 bosses in total, but my boss rush showed all the variations of those bosses, so that's why it was ended up like fucking 3 hours long. But anyway, I think it'd be really cool if there was like a credit system that you could use to unlock the characters. I think that unlocking the characters this way would give a person more incentive, or the player more incentive, to play the main campaign more, instead of just wasting all their time in multiplayer. That way you kind of get the best of both worlds. You have the multiplayer aspect that a lot of shooter fans will have fun with, and you get the single player aspect that the Metroid fans like me and like myself will just get a huge kick out of. And I cannot wait. I pretty much bought my Switch specifically for Metroid and Pokemon. If you guys haven't seen my channel, you know those are my biggest franchises that I love to play and talk about. But anyway, what are your guys' thoughts? I'd like to hear it in the comments. I started up a Patreon, by the way, guys, and the link to that will be down in the description. It's on my channel if you want to support me as well. If you guys could support me, I would be very much appreciated. And until next time, this has been ZDS, making YouTube for fun, one video at a time, and I will see you guys in the next video.